We have arrived. We're here. It is episode 90 of Radio Rothingham, the world's least professional podcast on the entire street, planet, universe. I need beer opener. Sponsored the brand. So yeah, here's a new episode of Radio Rothingham, least professional podcast on the entire internet. We got with us, well, we basically got the basics. We got, right. I just activated the overlay so we can actually see it. So we got Bakphoon.
It's me.
Mm-hmm. We got Sekele.
Only 10 episodes until 100.
Yes, it's gonna be very special, maybe. Also, my
special people at least.
Well, everyone's special. So it's just that some people are more special than others. We also got Xaverius. Xaverius.
Fell on the ground.
So are you going to put it in an envelope and send it over to Africa?
No, I have a doge here.
Oh. I guess it works too. And of course, there's the best person in the entire galaxy, which would be me.
Astra?
Well, Astra's the most awesome person in the entire multiverse, but she's not around. She doesn't grace us. She doesn't grace us with her divine presence. So I guess we just have to do with what we have. Also, Penboy's still dead, as in he's literally not online right now. So I'm not even sure what he's up to right now.
He was online just a bit ago.
Yes, but not now when we need him the most. So let's have a minute of silence to honor Penboy. Actually, let's not do that. Anyway, so yeah,
Let's take a minute of loudness to dishonor Penboy.
Okay, well, since every second. La 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 la. Also, that's a drink in his honor because Irish and stuff like that. That was quite enough. Anyway, you know what? Let's start the episode off with some animation news because we actually got some. So yeah, Sekele, do you think, because you're the local animation guy, I guess.
Oh yeah, so basically everyone knows Matt Groening, the guy who created The Simpsons and Futurama over at Fox. Mm-hmm. Well, now the man is working on a brand new animated series called Disenchanted for, of course, Netflix. Well, based on the little information we have so far, Disenchanted is going to be kinda like Futurama, only while Futurama was sci-fi, Disenchanted is going to be fantasy.
Yeah.
Fantasy Futurama.
So it's not gonna be in the future or the past. It's gonna be, fantasy.
Yes.
Ah.
If it is at least half as good as Futurama.
Well, that was kind of the thing about Futurama. When it came out, I remember the general consensus being, it looks an awful lot like The Simpsons. Except that everyone's not yellow, but more like normally skin colored.
Now I have also a plot summary. Follows the story of Bean, an alcoholic princess.
Oh, okay, that sounds good.
I heard about this like half a year ago. I thought this was out.
Elf companion, Elfall, her personal demon, Lucy, the world of Beanlandia.
Beanlandia.
That's all the info we have.
So it's about a alcoholic princess and her sidekick living in Beanlandia and basically just having hijinks and whatnot.
Not much information.
No. But that sounds like something I could get into. Sounds like fun.
Artwork, yeah.
For all we know, it's gonna look like shit.
So of course it's going to look like The Simpsons.
Well, I kind of hope it doesn't, because that was kind of the impression I got with the original, Futurama. It was like, yeah, this is pretty much The Simpsons.
Different skin color.
That was the only difference, really.
That's completely different, Artrix. You don't even live in houses anymore.
It is supposed to release this year, 2018, but they don't have a specific month.
So it could be like, maybe it's like the origin. Didn't Futurama release on like New Year's, because they could make the whole 2YK joke, or 2KY, Y2K. That was the thing, Y2K, because it's the year 2000. We live. It's been 18 years since that happened, and I still don't quite feel like we're living in the future. People are pointing out to us that we live in 2018. Quite a lot. They're like, it's 2018. I'm like, yes. What's your point? Well, this progressive thing, just because it's the current year. Oh. Okay.
I hate it.
Artrix.
Yes.
We live in a post-Star Wars sequel era. What?
Just that phrase, post Star Wars sequel era. Though where it wasn't.
I thought.
Yes, but the sequels are technically posts too, since one of them is already out. So.
Yes, they are those are post-Star Wars. Anyway, it's no longer progressive, it's progressive now, Artrix.
Progressive?
Yes.
Progressive, yes.
You know what a porg is, right?
Pork, yeah, that's ham.
It's a penguin cat.
Oh, okay.
It's from Star Wars, the post-Star Wars, and it's supposed to be cute.
Supposed to be cute, but is it?
Well, I mean, look, it's better than both Evox and Jar Jar Binks.
Well,
But it's not good.
But
Nothing-
everything's better than
Jar Jar Binks. Yeah, it's.
Considering we are talking
Even Evox.
Go ahead.
about the Star Wars sequels and Jar Jar Binks, I actually had a dream.
Why would you do such a terrible thing?
I had a dream to judge people not by the color of their skin, but by what Star Wars movie they like.
well, Martin Luther King Day was this week.
Oh yeah, that was the thing that happened, I guess.
In this dream was Jar Jar Binks, the Tiger Megazord, completely wrecking the forces of the First Order, wearing like a sailor, all while Lego Darth Vader was telling regular Kylo Ren with his stuff.
That is quite some dream you got going on there, son.
Are you sure you didn't play some Lego game? Sounds like Lego Star Wars to me.
I do like Lego Star Wars.
Yeah. But can something get ridiculous like that?
Well, I don't really get the appeal of all the Lego stuff.
Ever since I had that dream, I now want to see it. Like someone draw it, or even animate it.
You can commission people to do that. You can spend money in exchange for...
Goods and services, yes.
If you win money.
Oh god. But yeah, that's your... Oh yeah, speaking of drawing things, so yeah, right now I'm drawing Yuri from DDLC, and she's a very She's a very well-adjusted person that has no mental issues whatsoever. It's a completely mentally stable woman. There's nothing.
Like me. Except for the woman part.
There's absolutely nothing wrong with Yuri. She's a perfectly normal, well-adjusted young lady. I'll tell you that. And that's exactly the way I depict her right now. Like, look at that face. That looks like the face of a very emotionally stable woman. If I were on a date and a woman would be sitting across the table with that expression, I would be like, yeah, that's perfectly normal human behavior.
That's how people look.
Well, see it this way, at least a woman would sit at a table with you.
I saw a table once.
The sort of woman who would sit at a table with you, yeah.
Well, they would be crazy to begin with.
Well, better sitting at the table than on the table.
I had that happen to me once. You know, we were like, hey, let's sit at the table, and then she was sitting on it. I was like, no, that's not how tables work. There's a perfectly good chair over there.
What are these games that you are playing with me?
Yes. Is this one of those woman things that you should be telling me about? And I don't know what happened next. She may have poisoned me with some dark magic or whatever.
Yes, she wanted to steal your spermatics.
No, I guess that happened. You know, that's perfectly normal, right? When they're like, yeah. So I can't.
That's what we mean all about Artrix.
I can't get this guy with my charm, so I guess I just have to forcefully take it. You know, and by which I don't even mean the sex. They just take a syringe and just directly get from the source.
Yes. That's exactly how things work.
I'm not even sure if that would actually work.
It kinda does.
Well, that's what doctors do. They just put a syringe into your parts and then they get this stuff.
I'm not entirely sure about that.
Yes, I'm pretty sure that's how it works, because they were able to like get sperm out of a guy who lost his
prostate
manly part.
Ah.
No, not prostate. The long parts. You know what?
Well, that probably still need to.
Legs.
They probably still need to mix it with a what's it called? Synthetic semen sperm solution or whatever.
Yes, that's the official name.
Yes, that's the official name. That's the terminology that the doctors use.
It was so awkward that even the scientists couldn't name it properly.
Well, the scientists were all nerds anyway, so, you know, when they were deciding on the shit, it was like, what should we call this? And they're like, let's just call it this is the sperm thingy. yeah, that's good enough. No fancy Latin shit, just sperm thingy. And then that's how we got it. Anyway, how
Artrix, they just wanted to be popular because, you know, you can't get to a science party if you are a yucky scientist. I bet you don't even fucking love science.
Well, I kind of like science. You know, it's kind of cool, I guess. But
do you fucking love it?
No, I'm not one of those guys. It's like, yeah, man, science, awesome. Like, well, it's just a fact of life. We got science. It's very useful. It's very
science is awesome.
Yes, but it's like, yeah, that's pretty self-evident. So hooray, I guess. Don't need to be all cheerio about it.
Without science, you wouldn't be able to have a call with us right now.
Yes.
Without science,
we are
you wouldn't be
recording
able.
a stupid podcast.
Exactly.
Professional. You wouldn't be able to draw on your synthesis.
Yeah. So science is a very It's a very utilitarian thing. I'm very grateful for it. And I'm doing it.
This is awesome.
And that's why I'm grateful by giving it.
How great, Artrix?
Sick.
How big is this grate that you are full of?
6.
Oh my god, that's a big grate.
So yeah, science pretty cool, I guess. Does a bunch of stuff, and then goes to sleep.
We were talking about animation.
Yes, that too. We somehow segued into I don't know. Yes, we segued into sperm by talking about animation. GG dog being a
animated.
A little piece of animation news. How in the 80s and 90s there was this fashion to turn popular characters into babies.
Yes, there was.
God. Tom and Jerry Kids was the worst thing ever.
Oh god.
Anyone remember Total Drama Island?
Oh god, I remember. I even drew fan art of it. I drew
Total Drama Daycare.
Oh yes.
Why?
It sounds like everything I ever wanted from the world.
I already posted the picture into the chat.
Why does it exist? Also, am I looking? No, I'm not looking at the do chat, so I can actually open it. Well, that looks like something that that particular studio would make. But why does it exist? Well, I think I know in part why. I remember like this person on DeviantArt of an unspecified gender, and they decided to make like child versions of the characters, so maybe they picked up on that.
Maybe. Well, that sounds unlikely, but kinda when I look at this picture, it makes me think of Camp Camp.
Of what? Camp? Also, you're probably lagging because...
I did hard to understand.
No, I can hear you now. Just a minute ago, you fell...
I said the concept art, well not concept art, the promotional art kinda reminds me of Camp Camp.
I guess. I mean, there are... I would say they're slightly younger than the Camp crew, but... Speaking of which, they did just finish airing like season 2, right? Well, that was more like over the summer. Though they did release like a Halloween special and everything.
A Halloween special and a Christmas special.
Oh yeah, I also watched that one.
Both of them took place during summer.
Of course. I mean, well, that makes sense considering the context of that series. And anywho, yeah. As for my thoughts on not on Camp, on Total Drama Island, as in the series, I still have kind of mixed feelings about it, because it was slightly novel at the time. It was like, okay, so they're basically just sort of making fun of reality TV, which I fully support because reality TV is fucking retarded. I mean, there's rarely anything good coming out of that sort of content.
So reality TV was basically something they came up with during the writer's strike, so that they would not have to pay any writers.
Mm-hmm. That, and it was also very cheap to produce, because it's basically like, okay, we need content. What do you do? I make motorcycles. Okay, we're just going to put a crew in this room, and they're going to film you, and we'll give you money, and that's it.
And that's how Top Gear was made.
No.
Okay, they didn't have a motorcycle, they had two, and they taped them together and had a car.
okay, that sounds more plausible, but no. To compare Top Gear to the likes of here's some dudes making motorcycles that just running a business. We're going to watch like 1 hour of just guys arguing over finances and stuff. That's our content. I hope you're having fun with it.
Did the Mythbusters count as a reality show?
I wouldn't say that, because at least they were not just filming a business. They were specifically setting up stuff for...
I would say it didn't, because it wasn't very realistic.
That too.
Yeah.
Especially since they were often just using the show as an excuse to...
Blow shit up.
Yeah.
Because that's science, apparently.
I mean, I think it was particularly Adam that was like, yeah, let's blow shit up.
The show was hosted by a mad scientist and a walrus, who was also a scientist.
Mm.
For the purpose of this sort of thing, you need to see the difference between science and science!
Well, I do remember...
Which one of those is Bill Nye?
Well, Bill Nye used to be all about science, then he just became an ideologue.
I mean, does Bill Nye blow stuff up and flash Tesla coils everywhere?
No, because he'd probably be afraid to trigger someone if he did that, so... No.
Then he's just a charlatan.
Well, he legitimately seems to know a lot about science. I mean, if you look at his original show, he was basically just describing how things worked. It's like, yeah, this is, just science.
He's an engineer, so he should know a thing or five.
Yeah. And that was exactly the thing he stuck to. It was very practical engineering solution.
This is how an engine works.
Yes, stuff like that. That's what we're interested in. Now it's like LGBT, you sing song now, and I'm going to really awkwardly bang my head to this tune that I obviously don't give a shit about, but I don't know.
This is basically neither. It's neither science, and it's not even science. It's just sad.
I mean, he even tried to do the whole science thing by having this weird mad scientist laugh that was really forced and not funny. He was like, whoa, I'm a mad scientist. And I was like, no, you're not. And yeah, that show was just awkward to watch. Or at least the segments I've seen of it, because I really wasn't bothered to watch all of it. I mean, I watched that. Oh, go ahead.
It is very, very sad.
I mean, I watched a few episodes of Original, which were legitimately amusing. Also, it makes you get an appreciation of the Foley art of the 90s. Like, they really liked the sound effects. It was fantastic. I love it.
Also makes you realize that maybe, just maybe, this world does not deserve to exist anymore.
Nah, I mean, I'm in it, so that's more than enough reason for the world to exist. Even if it's just for that. So in other words, we should all be grateful that I live, because once I'm dead, but I don't care anymore. The world can just blow up.
Dead. Will be dead. Dead.
Or better yet, I'll just, or better yet, I'll just be set the entire universe. I'll be recreated, and we can just relive the same well, not decade, but we can basically take the best decade and just repeat over and over again forever. I don't know which decade it is yet, since my life isn't over yet. So I'll get back to that in like 90 years, and then we'll see.
But speaking of science...
What about it?
Yes. Nintendo announced something that
Oh.
goes kind of into science direction.
Actually,
yes, they announced Nintendo Labo.
you know, thus far, you know, I was kind of lukewarm about the Switch, but I got a really stiff one the moment they announced Labo's. Holy fucking jumping Jesus! I gotta get one right now. Where is it? I need to buy it.
Well, to be honest, I was talking to our coworker today. Like he was asking me, "Did you see this new thing that Nintendo did?" And I was asking Nintendo Labo, this cardboard thing. He was like, "Yes, this is just so freaking awesome because you know, if you are in working certain fields and you have some passion for this, it's like what they did actually, like how they did engineer that. That's like actually awesome. Like if you look at this standpoint, and it's not just cardboard. Like, I mean, it is cardboard, but you also get software, and it's it's not like Wii Sports, for example, or like Wii Play, where you just do the stupid thing. You actually get to see like the like how it works. Actually, like it actually show you like that the IR sensor is picking it up, and you kind of can see a somewhat X-ray view. So basically, get somewhat like a how do you say, a more practical.
It's the American! Brothers, we must spit on him.
I can dodge spit just as well as I can dodge shoes.
Oh my God! It's our token American Tridgeon. How are you?
I'm doing great. Survived the holidays.
Yeah, you sure did.
I'm not sure whether I picked Merry Christmas or Happy Holidays, which was.
Well, they're both correct answers. So.
But only one of them comes up when you scan the QR code.
Oh, you just have to scan it a million times, and you get a different answer. Yes, it's a random. To put things into context, sent out a Christmas card to my mates this holiday season, and it had a big QR code on it. So every time you scan the QR code, you get a random greeting. So one time it's Merry Christmas, and then it's Happy Holidays, and then it's GTWP no re. It's I think it's got like 10 variations in it. So.
Are you happy with your life choices?
Yes. It was actually extremely easy to program. It took me like 5 minutes.
It's pretty awesome.
Yes.
Definitely the best, most entertaining Christmas card I got this year.
Sweet. So let me guess, all the other cards were just really boring. It's like you get it, and it's got like angels and shit on it, and you're like, oh.
No angels.
Oh, no.
I got one that is a picture of me from work last year with no from address and no indication of who it's from. I guess that's also fairly entertaining and exciting, though.
Yes. It's like your very own mystery lover. I mean, friend, colleague, stalker.
I mean, it's taken using a film camera too. It like looks like an old school like Kodak print.
That makes it even.
Soviet spies.
Yes.
Someone out there in the woods with like an old school camera. Maybe they're
the Soviet spies that didn't know that Soviet Union isn't a thing anymore. Just keep being Soviet spies.
Either. Shit.
Anyway, we were talking about a Nintendo Labo and how incredible it is.
I just bought a Switch.
You caved in.
I did after playing with my brother's Switch for like 30 minutes. That sounds awful, actually.
Yes, please, Tridgeon, don't play with your brother's Switch.
But it's the games on it. I instantly bought the new Zelda, the new Mario, and Mario Kart, and it's just a shit ton of fun. I also had to fly back on an airplane, so it was like perfect.
It is perfect for those kind of things. Yes. Also, did your plane at like power sockets, or did you just bring a really big power bank?
I did not have my power bank with me because I didn't realize I was going to be buying a Switch.
Oh, okay.
Because I bought it mid-journey. But even playing Breath of the Wild, it lasted for almost 4 hours.
Almost.
which
Oh my god, such long.
it lasts about twice as long. So it'll run all day if you're playing something like Stardew Valley.
Okay.
Or
What if I play Skyrim? Is it
I
going to be like
imagine
15 minutes?
Skyrim is going to be the lower end of hour time, so like 3 to 4 hours.
Look, Tridgeon, I'm used to playing Skyrim only for 15 minutes because that was about the time that the notebook I originally played it on took until it started overheating and just restarted.
Well, then you'll never run out of battery.
H-
And
HMMMMMMMM.
it was HP, so you could fry eggs on it.
What? Oh, I currently don't think you could fry eggs on a Switch.
Oh no. Switch.
Currently.
This notebook was HP, you know, HPs are very balanced and self-sustained when it comes to cooling.
And known for their high quality build.
Yes.
Anyway, Labo. I think that if the same team that made Switch and they fired everyone responsible for Wii U, and then maybe Cardboard Box Sensation will actually be fun.
I will say that if there is anyone who can make cardboard look interesting, it is Nintendo.
No, to be honest, yeah, not only Japanese but Asians in general are very experienced in paper crafts.
Yes.
So yeah, but in my opinion, it's also gonna look great. Like, of course, you have like this kit that you can buy for $70. It's a lot, but you can buy it if you want it. It comes with a Switch game, or you can also download the cutouts for free and basically print them out and glue them on cardboard and do it yourself.
Oh, so you don't actually have to buy the cardboard. You can, if you're really dedicated, you can just download the blueprints and make it yourself. Oh, that's because because
The games aren't
Yeah.
gonna come.
Yes.
I imagine if they sell the game stuff from the cardboard, they're not gonna knock off a lot of money. And just looking at what their like new games are costing, it's like I wouldn't be surprised if they charge like $30 for whatever game pack it is, even
Yeah.
if it's without cardboard. It's launching though for $70.
Yes.
Which is seems a little ridiculous.
it is.
Unless these are like fully fleshed out, you know, games, which I sort of don't think so. But I mean, I have, in a very similar situation, I have to eat my words. One of the best games to ever come out for the Wii was Wii Sports.
Well, that's basically, you know, that was the entire Wii experience. People they essentially just bought a Wii, the Wii Sports machine. So
it
that
was worth it for Wii Sports.
yes,
It was
that
so
was
much
that was essentially that was the craze. That's the whole reason why the Wii sold, because people would be like, you know, you're at the water cooler, like, hey John, did you play that Wii Sports game? No, I haven't. Well, it's at Walmart for $250. You can get it right now. And like, okay, I'll just drive down to Walmart and get one. So go to Walmart and like, oh yeah, there's one of them Wii Sports machines. I'll just go and buy one. And they just buy it and they play it for 30 minutes. Like, well, that was a lot of fun. I'll just toss this in the closet where it will never be seen until like 2013 or something like that.
Then you go to work and the guy's like, I have waited 6 hours. This is stick at the TV, and the guy at the TV moved twice.
It was a lot of fun, but I got bored of it now.
It's a workout. It's not supposed to be fun, Artrix.
So
I mean, the biggest difference there is Wii Sports was free with the Wii.
I wouldn't say it's
If
free, but
Nintendo- if Labo came with the Wii, like if you got like a cardboard box and a bunch of mini games, I mean, with the Switch, it would be a similar situation. But instead, they're charging $70 for it. So
Yeah, but
That is-
Labo is, but it's not like it's like for a different audience. Like, it's not really meant for like people like us. It's like pretty much targeted at kids and like more as of like maybe like a kid parent activity. because like assembling those things, it's gonna be like not very easy. It's like gonna take 2 hours or so apparently. Like they're giving an estimate of 2 hours to assemble this stuff, and you can even customize it if you want it.
I think that they might also be going for the robotics in the classrooms. Have you? I don't know if you've seen this, but like it's actually fairly popular for schools to buy iPads that can hook up and run like simple Bluetooth robots. So then you can like have basic programming lessons.
Wow,
and, like,
you could kind of do that with Sentinel Lego sets. What it was called, Mindstorms, I believe.
You can do it with so many things, but right now schools, teachers aren't known for their ability to deal with things that aren't done out of the box.
Tridgeon, that was in the 90s.
That was in the 90s. In the 90s, I had teachers that would set up like in-class networks and show us how to like send emails and talk to each other on instant messaging and like do stuff like that. But the vast majority of teachers had no idea what a computer even was. And so right now,
most of teachers still don't have idea what a computer even is.
Oh yeah, so like most of these robotics classes are taught with like out-of-the-box programming on iPads. So potentially Nintendo could be taking this market over because Switches with this program on it is probably cheaper.
Than them buying a freaking iPad, which is, from Apple, so that they would already charge an arm and leg for what is essentially an underpowered piece of shit.
Yes, but Artrix, they can sell people the exclusive features of for and while.
Yes. Or they can just buy them like an Android tablet, which is probably going to be half the cost.
Artrix, you don't understand. Apple invented programming and it's not compatible with Android.
Or you could do the exact same thing. It's because all they're doing is programming robots. They could do the exact same thing with Linux on Raspberry Pi, but it would take someone that is somewhat proficient with how computers work to run a class.
You are supposed to get kids interested into this and not scared away.
I think you're missing the point of school. I thought the point of school is to get money from kids' parents into your pocket.
Wait.
Then they would rather buy the iPad.
What's this?
The problem here is that we come from post-socialist countries where parents don't pay shit to schools.
That sounds communist.
That does sound sounds vaguely not capitalist.
It's a leftover from communist era, and nobody wants to change it.
Oh my god, how dare people not... Oh my god, how there's education to be free? Oh no. It's the worst terrible thing.
It's almost one... Well, there's a thing or two to be said about education, in the sense that what we're experiencing right now is, yes, education is free. And basically everyone has a degree of some sort. Or at least the vast majority. It's just that it doesn't really seem to... There doesn't seem to be an overlap between the way we are educating our children and what's actually demanded on the job market. Because we got a lot of people that are being trained for white-collar work right now. Like designers and whatnot.
The education system is... a little antiquated at this point. You still have colleges giving the spiel of like work hard and come in person and hand in a printed out resume and you will get the job. And reality is just not. It's the workplace has moved on. Like it's different out there.
We're basically training our current generation for jobs that don't exist yet. Which is, or at least it should be, because we're currently training them for jobs that do exist, but that might not exist by the time they graduate, or something like that.
Like gender studies.
Well, those were never viable to begin with.
See, Artrix, gender studies will not be applicable because there will be no genders.
That too. But in the future, we'll all just be like soulless blobs.
In the future, nobody can hear you, gender binary.
It won't be applicable because in the parts where gender studies are being taught, Sharia law will take over and stone everyone who has a gender studies degree.
That sounds wonderful. Where do I sign up for this wonderful future? Oh wait, I can't.
Already
Okay.
happening.
And anyway, let's not get off track here. We were talking
No, that
about
would never would happen.
we
No, not like you randomly join the mid-recording and just disrupt everything, no, not at all. Then suddenly we
I don't
talk about your vacation.
well that's exactly why I'm
This
trying to.
vacation was actually made by Nintendo.
That too, but I'm actually trying to do exactly that thing. I'm trying to get this conversation back on track because we were talking about Nintendo Labo and how interesting it is. Because it's pretty interesting. Here's a quick thought about it. So I'm definitely all for it. It does like a fun concept to be building your own devices that way and being able to customize it and basically bring gaming into the third dimension without going VR. Here's one thing though. Since it is marketed at children, which it quite obviously is, there's one obvious problem that we're facing, which is okay. It's nice and dandy that you got this, that you got this cardboard construction that you have to build and everything. But we're talking about we're dealing with children here, and children are quite notorious for being very rough with their toys, and
So then they have to buy new ones and new ones.
well, okay. The fact that apparently you can just print them out yourself and just make new things. So you're essentially just buying the game, and the cardboard comes for free with big quotation marks because it's.
And the cardboard's pretty robust. I'd be much more worried about the $500 tablet that you're putting inside of it.
That too.
I mean, you can buy screen protectors, but they're just like cell phone screen protectors made out of tempered glass. If you drop the Switch, it would probably just shatter. I would not recommend that.
The Switch has more like one of those plasticky screens, so it doesn't really shatter.
Okay, but the really common aftermarket screen protectors are all tempered glass, it looks like, to keep you from scratching because the screen itself doesn't have a hard cover. I guess that's what's going to be really easy to scratch. So then you have the tempered. I don't know. I guess that's a compromise. It just doesn't seem like. I don't know. It doesn't feel like a Game Boy Advance, that you can freaking chuck that thing across a football field and flush it down a toilet.
Yeah, it's
After
still
microwave
scratched. The screen's still scratched. From my experience.
It's
Game Boy Advance, Game Boy Color, all the screens scratched. So yeah.
It's like a plastic tablet. I mean, it's probably not even as robust as like an iPad. It's thin and has a giant screen on it. I mean,
it depends on what you mean with robust, because I'm pretty sure that the Switch, there was actually a guy, what's his name, YouTuber, Yuri everything, which was trying to somewhat destroy his Switch, being very, very rough, and this thing just, he could barely break it. Like he said, the most quote-unquote fragile part of the Switch was the screen, but he said, yes, it scratches easily, but it's just scratches. It's not like that the screen's completely unusable. It's scratched. That's unfortunate, but it's not shattered. They're just especially considering kids, you don't really want to have to deal with glass shards and everything. And
Yeah.
so
I guess
yeah,
that makes sense.
and also it's it's drop resistant, and he tried to break the Joy-Cons off and everything, while they were mounted. Of course, after a lot of force, he said, he had to use a lot of deliberate force himself, and to make it break off, and only the Joy-Con unit itself broke because the Switch has metal there. So basically, the Switch can't usually break if you are try to like forcefully remove the Joy-Cons.
Interesting.
So it's made sturdy in a sense that it can like that it can actually withstand some rough handling. Like
that's good to
it
hear.
might not look all too pretty to it, but I'm pretty sure that if a kid tried to be rough with an iPad, he would break it way quicker because he drops it once and suddenly you have the screen all shattered.
Well,
Like
that's what you do these days. It's trendy.
It's true. Like
You go to
like,
school.
almost every second phone has some kind of spider web installed on the screen.
And when you say the most fragile part, you mean after he immediately ripped off the kickstand, right? Because that thing is like it's like a toothpick that sticks out of the back of the thing.
Yeah, but the thing about the kickstand is like, yes, you can remove it, but it's just like you can pop it back in. Like if you like rip it off, you can just attach again because
it's clearly not an optional piece of the hardware. It's like doesn't really even do anything.
Yeah. What I mean, like if you snap it off, I could even do it right now. In fact, I'm doing it right now. Oops, I snapped the kickstand off. I can just put it back in because try to remove it yourself, you will see what happens. Like I literally removed it. You can just pull it out and you see it as like two like metal nibs on the top that you can kind of have a spring or metal spring or something. You can just pop them back in the kickstand. So the kickstand is like the least fragile part there. Yes, it comes off easily. It's not the most optimal kickstand that exists, but it kind of gets this job done. Unless if you are really stupid like IGN or whatever the outlet was that has managed to get the kickstand to fall over.
But how is the kickstand going to be improved by cardboard?
You don't use the kickstand with the cardboard.
I don't
The
know.
cardboard
Maybe
is like the cardboard is just like somewhat like accessoires, like back in the Wii days, like they sold you all this plasticky crap. Now you have cardboard.
Brilliant.
Well, it is kind of brilliant in my opinion. Of course, we need to see how it will sell, but I think what I think is like that Labo is gonna be not just cardboard. It's gonna be like more of like what was called edutainment series, basically like somewhat for kids, but like in the sense of, as you said, like those Lego and robotic kits and so on.
also
Like not
isn't the-
necessarily only cardboard, but it's like maybe like the beginning of the series if it takes off.
I don't think it could ever really be a serious thing, just because of the limitation that the screen is 720p. If you played VR on a 720p screen right in front of your face for an extended amount of time, you're gonna get headaches and dizziness.
Yeah, but you can also play this. I suppose you are referring to this robot game, because you can also play the robot game in like normal docked mode. So
Yeah, in docked mode. Oh yeah, so then if you're just standing in front of a TV with it playing,
Yeah.
that sounds like fun too, and that would definitely avoid the headaches.
actually, the robot game is like also like very elaborate from what I see, and it's from what people are seeing. It's like that one Wii U game that was like demoed at 3 and apparently was cancelled, but that's pretty much like the game revived again because it's pretty much looks like this game, but even more better elaborate. I mean, it's something original. I'm also curious to see what will come out of it. But I think it's just something new. Like, of course, they know they don't really have the horsepower for proper VR, and they don't want to really bother with it yet. So they're doing this.
I honestly never expected Nintendo with the current hardware to enter the VR arena. So this is definitely an interesting alternative way to try and do something that's even more unique than what they've been doing so far with.
Even more unique and special.
Well, they certainly are being a very special snowflake with the whole Labo thing. I wonder what Sony's response is gonna be. Because that's
Don't they
since
already
I have seen they have seen the Labo, Nintendo's Sony's response for the Labo, and it was just a Vita in a cardboard coffin.
Okay, that was pretty clever.
Yeah.
Because that's essentially usually Sony's response. I mean, I think the response to the Wii U was like, "Oh well, you can connect the Vita to your PlayStation."
Oh god, what an awful,
Such wow.
awful solution.
Mm.
And then everyone on plans like, that implies that I have a Vita. Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Buy
And also
one?
But speaking of cardboard coffins, just after Nintendo announced Nintendo Labo officially, the German ratings board actually tweeted out and said, finally we can tell this anecdote, because they almost threw the cardboard stuff away for Nintendo Labo because they didn't know it was part of the game. Almost, but they luckily didn't.
Aww. That would be the best.
Yeah. But there's actually something really best, because Nintendo is going to hold events in Japan for the Nintendo Labo in Tokyo and Osaka, and the event is called the Nintendo Labo Camp. It's the Labo Camp.
I still have to get used to that name, Labo. It makes sense, but it's also weird. I mean, what is it even supposed to? Well, I think it's kind of alluding to Amiibo because it's got the whole O thing. I think they just really like the letter O.
Artrix, you know what else has O at the end?
I think it's just Nintendo.
Pikachu? Oh no, that's you. No.
A Negro, Artrix. A
Oh,
Negro.
fuck you. Yeah.
GG.
I mean, like,
Yeah, but Labo kinda sounds like a shorthand for
Laboratory,
lab.
yes.
Like, which would kinda make sense, but just kinda going to scientific approach. Like,
well, I said it just because Buck brought up the Labo camps.
Great, Xaverius. Now you just got us demonetized.
Wait,
Again.
you mean
Already.
you mean more than we already were? I
Yes.
mean, Radio Rothingham was already demonetized because we didn't have enough viewers. Now we're demonetized because we don't have enough subscribers or hours
First
watched.
we were demonetized because we said the word Muslim.
No, we weren't. We legitimately weren't. It was just that we didn't have enough lifetime views. That was the criteria that we failed to meet. But now,
It's hardly our fault, Artrix.
but now, my personal channel is also demonetized because I don't have enough hours watched. You
That's
now
also hardly our fault.
no, that isn't your fault.
Exactly.
So
I wish it was my fault.
you wished, but no, I won't give you that satisfaction. Just so
Exactly.
you know. Just out of spite, just to spite you. But yeah, YouTube was like, Artrix, yeah, you don't get enough hours watched on your videos because you're not constantly pumping out videos. Like you're not just filming yourself daily, just talking about random shit or playing Vidya. So or dead people. So yeah, no, you're not going to monetize you anymore. And it was like,
Artrix is playing dead people.
so it's like how much money I'm missing out on, and we're like, okay, let us look, zero. Your earnings were zero, or maybe a few cents. You're missing out on that. And like I was like, gee, thanks YouTube. So yeah, YouTube has decided to further remove the U in YouTube and basically fuck over anyone who's got a small channel by moving.
But it's always interesting to see that they always do those changes after some big YouTubers screws up. And instead of punishing the big YouTuber, they are like punishing all those small YouTubers.
Well, obviously, they need to prevent those things from becoming big YouTubers. Then they can. Then once they cauterize the wound, they can deal with the big ones.
Yeah. So
They need to stop it from spreading.
So yeah, YouTube is definitely not exactly on the right track of remaining YouTube. It's becoming more and more obvious by the day that they basically just want to become another Netflix.
They just want to become a tube.
The worst part is there exists no alternative.
Well, there's Minds.com, but that's like for nerds.
You just need that's like a Twitter alternative, Artrix. Just go to Vimeo.
The problem
No, Vimeo is full Vips. Oh, go ahead.
Most importantly, Vimeo is stuck in 2006.
Sekele, go ahead.
that all of these alternatives keep getting taken down, like these sites.
But Minds?
It's no longer around.
Which one?
Of that.
I'm pretty sure Minds.com is still around, and I think that's got video hosting capabilities, doesn't it?
Even Vimeo is still around.
Yeah, but
Even
that's
if you don't
that.
like it.
Yeah, but that's only if you're a pretentious hipster. They're like,
Yes, because and it's stuck in 2006. That's why the hipsters like it. I mean, if it was the other way around, and people were at Vimeo, then obviously YouTube would be stuck in 2006.
yeah, and you know, even though it could be argued that the content of YouTube was better in 2006, the layout was definitely not very good. Though one was able to customize the layout of their page quite a bit. Yeah, that shit's gone now. You can only have like custom banner and that's it. Like YouTube used to be like some Tumblr-esque masterpiece in that regard. You can basically just make it whatever the fuck you wanted. Well, that's gone.
Everything is going to hell. There is no reason to continue living.
Okay, well, bye guys. I'll just rage quit, but don't worry. I'll respawn next week.
Alt F4.
Yeah.
5.
It doesn't work. Why doesn't it work?
You didn't try hard enough.
Oh, okay.
I heard you need to go to a forest.
There aren't any forests nearby, so I'll give up. I don't want to bother. Well, at least that guy doesn't live anywhere near me, so I guess he'll stay.
Alex is safe. He can kill himself in peace.
Then again, he did fly all the way over to Japan, so maybe that's kind of a moot point. Oh well. But yeah, YouTube's definitely been on decline quite a bit, and they're definitely trying to just become like I said, they're trying to become like Netflix, just very safe content that no one can be offended to. In the process of doing exactly the opposite, but
Problem is nobody wants to watch it because they started watching YouTube because they didn't like TV, and until YouTube is TV, there's no reason to watch YouTube.
yeah, it's like it's the same approved opinions that we're seeing anywhere on the planet. So why watch YouTube? That was exactly the.
The worst part is that the normies will eat this shit up.
But the consenting views was the reason why normies would go to YouTube. It's still considered kind of a normie thing to do because you don't really have to go out and find it. It's okay. Back in the day when YouTube was new, that it can be argued that wasn't really the case. But YouTube's gotten pretty mainstream
You
now.
had to go to internet, Artrix.
Yeah, that was pretty hardcore back in the day. You had to be internet savvy. You had to know how to operate a computer.
And a browser.
Yes, you had to pick your own browser. Oh my god.
Possibly even know the difference between browser and search engine.
Yes. Oh my
That
god.
was no easy shit.
No,
You
try
learned it at school, Artrix.
explaining to an old person that open your browser and like, but where's the E of internet? And I'm like, well, first of all, the internet starts with an I, not with an E, and
In some languages.
I don't know of any language where internet is spelled with an E. Do you know one?
I mean, yes, check. Internet. E is E.
What the fuck? In Czech,
Well-
internet starts with an E?
Yes, in every fucking language it starts with an E, but for some reason those different languages call E something different, like I.
No, it's you that's wrong. It's
I think it's you that's wronger. I mean, how do you call an E?
an E. But it's I. The internet
Exactly.
is I.
You are the internet.
The
In order-
E is Explorer.
Yes.
So there.
Also,
That's
and
not
also,
E, that's A. You're not getting me bamboozled.
yeah, Microsoft made it extra confusing by calling Explorer, but then there's Internet Explorer, which internally makes perfect sense because you got the Explorer to explore your files, and you got the Internet Explorer to explore the internet. It all makes perfect sense.
Yes.
But then,
Work very similarly.
well, I
You
even
understand that Microsoft pulled an Apple there in a endless arrogance. You don't
Yeah.
need anything else but us to explore.
Well, yeah, that it was completely integrated into the Windows 8 ecosystem because it was essentially like, so you open Explorer and you could type in like a location on the computer, like, okay, so that would be D, / my secret porn collection / and it would find all your porn, but
You mean school.
at school, of course, on your school computer, that would be the most logical place to be storing your secret porn collection.
You mean your school files for science.
Yes.
But since you mentioned Explorer, I was at a client yesterday, and well, at some point their Windows updated to 10,
Not 10.
and 10 is a obviously brilliant system, and you don't need anything else to use your files with, not even any additional programs. So obviously they had PDF files on that, and you know what got associated to PDF files according to Windows 10?
Edge.
Exactly. Even though there was perfectly working Acrobat.
Yeah, but I think the moment you install, I had the same issue going when I updated from to the latest creators update. What it does is it basically tries to
Yeah.
reset everything to defaults. So you might actually end up using Edge, but it's like you upgrade to the full creators edition and like, nope, tell all back to defaults. Thanks. And you just go back to using regular ass versions of everything.
Well, that's not what users do, Artrix. They can't handle that.
Yes, you'd have to expect from a school that they understand that there's, different programs you can use to open a file format.
I don't know. I'll ask somebody who's still at school if they can do it.
But maybe they can hire you to teach them. You think I'm joking, but that actually happened at my college. At one point, I figured out how to use After Effects all by myself, and the school's like, "Oh, you know how to After Effects?" I'm like, "Yes." Can you teach the other students? We'll pay. Like, okay. So there I was teaching other kids how to After Effects. It was quite hilarious.
After you self-learn.
Yes.
Obviously.
So you're like, I'm not really sure how this is supposed to work, but this is how I made it work.
Mhm. Yes. I taught how to After Effects. I taught myself how to After Effects, and then the school hired me to teach the other kids how to After Effects. It was an interesting experience,
That's kind of horrifying.
and amazing. It was perfect. Anywho, I think we've got room for one more topic, and I think I know just the topic to bring up, because there's this little cryptocurrency on this planet. It is quite
Dogecoin.
Dogecoin is the perfect coin. There's absolutely nothing wrong about it. So instead, we're talking about Bitcoin, which is also.
To the moon!
But did it go to the moon?
No, they didn't, because the Dogecoin the Google X prizes, none of them are probably going to launch in time. The deadline for that is the end of this year.
I think you know something that I don't. So explain.
Oh, Dogecoin.
Yeah, I know what-
To the moon.
Oh.
Because they were saving money to participate in the Google Lunar X Prize, which would award like $10 million to the first private organization to land a rover on the moon and like travel a certain distance. And there's two competitors still in the running, but both the rockets are probably going to be delayed past the deadline of like this summer. So yes, that was cryptocurrency going to the moon.
So one of them invented Dogecoin in an attempt to get the money?
This was after their NASCAR thing. So this was after Dogecoin raised a bunch of money to buy out a NASCAR for a race, including a full cart and a full suit, which was incredibly awesome. There was a freaking Shiba Inu that went around the track going left many times. It was pretty great.
Mm-hmm.
Confusing thousands of rednecks. And the next thing was the X Prize, which I think fell apart at some point.
Oh, that's too bad.
What's going on with Bitcoin?
Well,
it certainly isn't trying to go to the moon.
No.
It's
Well, it was trying. It was trying to do it, but they kind of failed predictably. Basically, what happened, I think everyone with a functioning brain saw this on comics. So in late 2017, Bitcoin was going up quite a bit. Everyone was really excited about Bitcoin all of a sudden. And because people were getting excited about Bitcoin, more people were buying Bitcoin, which in turn drove up the price of Bitcoin, which got more people excited with Bitcoin because it was like, oh my god, if I buy Bitcoin now, it will be more valuable and then it'll be even richer. So people kept buying Bitcoin. So basically, you're selling more Bitcoins and being sold than what is probably its natural market value, given the amount of Bitcoins. Well, not really, because just like fiat currency, Bitcoin has value because people think it's got value, therefore it has value.
All currencies.
Yes.
Yeah, most of Bitcoin's like natural worth seemed to be coming from the volume of use it was getting on like the dark web, and it's used to like buy drugs and shit.
Well, yeah, that's basically the only transaction value it has. Though it's also a storage of value. So if you've got some money laying around that you don't need right away, you can convert it to Bitcoin. And then as the price go up, you can convert back to fiat when you actually need the money. But of course, the risk with that is that as Bitcoin can go up, it can also go down. And that's basically what happened. After all this speculation and speculation upon speculation and people getting excited, it was pretty damn inevitable that eventually the bubble would burst, and it just dropped under 10k. So after going up to like what 18k, Bitcoin is
10k is still fucking insane for Bitcoin. But
yes,
yeah, that's quite a drop.
So
some people lost half their money.
So if you're interested in getting into Bitcoin, my advice, and of course I'm the best financial advisor on the planet, but I would say wait for it to go back to like 3 or 4k where it was early in the year, which is still a fair bit of money. But if you put in like $200 and it goes up to like 10k, well, that's you still double your money.
Are you implying it's ever going to go solo?
That's definitely possible, given that's already it already lost half its value.
It went to 10.
Yes.
And then it went back to 11, then it went back to 12, then it went back to 11, 12, 11, 12, 11, 12, 11, and that's where it's now.
Yes.
It's keeping itself.
Well, if we're like 3 months down the road and it's still around that price point, then maybe that is its current actual value.
Well, if it's still like that 3 months down the road, then we're going to have people being like, oh my god, digital currency that's actually stable. And then the hype train will start up all over again.
Yeah,
price will explode and blah, blah, blah.
And anyone who non-ironically says that Bitcoin is a stable currency is an idiot.
Yes.
It's definitely not stable, which in turn does make it an interesting currency. But it's in no way, shape or form a very practical currency to be using for day-to-day purchases. from that point of view, I'm very surprised that.
Make the transaction times much faster, which is Bitcoin even
No,
trying to.
No, because that it's not possible
It's
by
not right.
it's not possible by design. Now, what can happen actually is that that you get like exchanges that basically store your Bitcoin, and then you can basically just spend Bitcoins as you see fit, using a secondary network, but the actual Bitcoins are stored on their servers or whatever. So
Yeah, and that's where most of the thefts have happened, is
Yes.
from these Bitcoin,
exchanges.
not from people that own their own Bitcoin, because that's pretty hard to get a hold
Yes. I mean, if you got your Bitcoin in a Bitcoin wallet file, then yeah, it is yours and no one else's, and that is one of the strengths of Bitcoin. There, in theory, there's no middleman involved, but since the system's gotten incredibly complex, also takes forever to complete transactions and whatnot. So it's definitely a very interesting currency. But yeah, this whole thing where the bubble burst, that was just we were just waiting for it to happen. It was going to happen, and it happened.
Although I am surprised it took it this long.
Well, hindsight is 2020. Actually, when the news broke to me, I was like, well, makes about sense. I'm not at all surprised. I think I expect it to happen a little bit later, but yeah, it makes perfect sense that it happens now. Also because probably due to the end of the Christmas season, so people are coming back to their sense a little bit, or they just want to cash in. They're like, yeah, okay, I just had a really expensive Christmas month, and I need some extra cash, so I'm just gonna sell my Bitcoin. Then everyone sells the Bitcoin, to the point where, actually, if everyone sells the Bitcoin, it would also mean that demand is high, so that actually makes no sense. Though if everyone's selling Bitcoin, no one's buying it, and after that, then yeah, price would go down because it means that demand is lower. Also, does anyone know where Dogecoin is actually at right now in terms of how much fiat can you get for one Dogecoin?
Nope.
I don't know. The only time I saw people using it when it was worth about, I think it was worth about like a tenth of a cent or something. And but then like people started the hype train to get it to be able to buy a NASCAR and stuff, and it got all the way up to like 10 cents or something.
Wow. I think I actually managed to mine like 2 Dogecoin or something ridiculous like that. I was like, oh yeah, I just spent like 30 cents on that electricity, but I now have 2 Dogecoin in my Dogecoin wallet. GG.
It's gonna be hard to find an actual currency chart that isn't a meme.
Yeah, I don't think I don't think XC.com actually carries Dogecoin. So, I mean, it carries. I don't know, what does it carry. I know it carries Ethereum, it carries Bitcoin, but I don't think it carries Dogecoin. Also, I think I'm just about done inking Yuri here. She's looking pretty mentally stable. It's perfect. You know what? Does anyone else have anything to say about Bitcoin? I think Beck had quite a few things to say about Bitcoin. Or Xaverius. Or
What?
I'm looking for what is. I'm just waiting for all the mining GPUs flooding the market and the prices to drop like crazy.
Yeah, that's usually what happens when stupid people give up. I mean, the fine and nice part about it was that Sorry, I had a thing. The fun part about it crashing was that it crashed all other cryptocurrencies. So, yes, if you want to buy stuff, then buy stuff, and it's probably gonna rise. Maybe, who knows?
Yeah,
The thing is,
Dogecoin looks like it's
the thing
at
about mining is that like silly people are selling miners because they could still mine. Like this is what they call weak hand, when stuff goes down and you immediately try to get rid of it to recoup your losses. People who are in it for the long run just keep mining because they're like, okay, maybe it's gonna go up, and because like nobody else is contending for it, I'll get more. Technically.
Well, we've definitely seen it happen IRL, because I won't give you any names, but let's just say that one of our friends and a brother bought a lot of GPUs for this exact reason. He was also pretty stupid.
What did he mine with those GPUs?
I think he intended to mine Dogecoin or Bitcoin or both.
Okay, he is retarded.
Well, he was when he started with this endeavor, because the moment he bought that hardware, it was
unless
already...
it was like 2013. Yes, back then you could still...
No, it was around 2013 or 2014.
Yes, back then
but
you still could mine bitcoins with GPUs.
yes,
Like
Yeah,
a
that
year
was
ago
the
you couldn't.
but in this case, the energy requirements outweighed the profits, and it.
Yes.
So basically, what I told him,
You know how you mine Bitcoin these days?
basically just go to China, because
Yes.
energy
You
is
buy
much.
an Antminer
Yes.
in China and give it to Chinese people, or you just hire Chinese people to do mining for you.
Yes,
I
you're
mean,
like
or you're in one of
Pool.
there are places that have energy dominated by wind or solar power, and sometimes those are places where, well, there's also places where this can happen, especially with fossil fuel powered plants as well. But anyway, there are some electrical grids where there will be periods of the day where the power companies actually pay you to take power off the grid.
yeah. that-
Amazing. And since Bitcoin is all about, profits versus how much you spend, and China has the cheapest electricity, that's where they all go. And this is how you mine this decentralized currency. You put it all in China.
yes.
Yeah, but I mean, what you can do is, if you have a giant warehouse full of servers for whatever reason, you can have it programmed to, if it detects, voltage, the power voltage is changed enough that the power company is going to pay you for electricity, it just automatically switches to Bitcoin. And you're not going to mine a lot of Bitcoin, because this is like seconds of mining.
Except
You could probably just make more money by, what's the word?
Joining them.
Circumstances, I mean, these are circumstances where like factories will just turn on their machines.
isn't
Because
this could probably only work if you're in a Bitcoin mining pool, where you basically join like a pool of computers, and
if you want to mine at home or something these days, yes.
that,
I
That's
mean,
the
you're
only
already
way.
getting paid just for turning on the servers. So you might as well do
Pools
something.
are the only way to mine bitcoins if
Yes.
you don't want to go to China.
that's the only realistic option, basically.
Yep.
Also, yeah, Yuri looks pretty psychotic. It's perfect.
Only
Doge-
normal and adjust it.
Yes.
Dogecoin peaked this month. It's the highest it's ever been valued at about a cent, 1.7 cents.
Wow.
Which one? Dogecoin?
Dogecoin.
Wow.
Yeah,
Coin-
they're like Bitcoin is crashing. We need to find an alternative currency.
Quick
It
to
looks
the
like
Dogecoin.
Dropping back down
To
to
the Doge Mobile.
about a third of a penny is where it's at now. But that's not a crash for it. I mean, it had a spike about the time that Dogecoin was having its issues, but I mean, that Bitcoin was having its issues. But I don't know. Dogecoin was best when it wasn't a speculation currency, when it was just something that people gave people on the internet for internet points.
Yes.
It was a lot
It was-
more fun.
It was it,
That's what you do with all the small cryptos. Anyway, that's how you establish the value.
It's hilarious because on this chart that I'm looking at, they have price of Dogecoin in Bitcoin as well.
Yeah,
And
everything's in Bitcoin.
Bitcoin is so much more volatile than even
Well,
Dogecoin.
Tridgeon. You know why everything is in prices of Bitcoin?
Because you can just switch from one cryptocurrency to another.
Bitcoin is the easier to buy with money, for obvious reasons.
Mhm.
And Bitcoin is thus the easiest to convert into other currencies.
Oh, that is right. The moment you have Bitcoin, it's easy to trade around with other cryptos, but
So when Bitcoin's having issues, then people are actually dumping into other cryptocurrencies.
yes.
Yep.
To convert it to something that they perceive as not crashing in order to maintain its value.
Yeah.
And then they'll probably dump it right back into Bitcoin when they think it's at its low point to rise the next. Take advantage of the next rise in prices.
That's basically our cryptocurrency. You convert fiat into cryptocurrency. You trade a bit around until you find something that's nice and valuable, and then you convert back to fiat, and then you can go to the store and buy that Nintendo Labo.
Yes. How many Dogecoin to buy one Labo, please?
Probably
3 million.
probably one Google of Dogecoin.
And it's Dogecoin.
Well, at least then you can say that you bought Nintendo Labo using Dogecoin. And then you'll be rich. Or not. I don't know. Anywho, is there
Yes.
one more topic we want to bring up? Or are we pretty much done talking now? Because, well, I'm not going to finish this picture of this very stable individual.
Well, there was that shampoo company that hired a person with a scarf on her head to do the...
Oh yeah,
ads for her.
but that's a nice...
Hair are not important, it's the message.
That's a good note to go out on. So yeah, wasn't it Dove or L'Oreal? Because you're worth it. Especially if you wear jihad and no one can see your hair, then... Well,
I'm
it's still...
implying that people who are wearing trash bags on their heads are not taking care of their hair.
Well, it's not that there are or are not, but it is that you can't see it. Therefore,
That doesn't matter! That means that if you let other people see it, then you care of it only because you want other people to see it. And obviously this is devaluing people as persons or something.
Mm-hmm. So yeah,
There's no sense whatsoever.
it's another one of those situations where companies just virtual signaling the fuck out of virtual signaling just to gain, diversity points, I guess. Even though it makes no sense because this is a commercial about hair and you're not showing any hair.
You showed the message.
I mean even the
Are
Go
they
ahead.
now going to have snails advertising shoes?
Yes.
Well, we already had cavemen advertising shampoo. The cave woman was also animated. And
There was
also,
an entire French movie about caveman and shampoo.
wait, there was? I'm
Yes, it was
oddly
called Rrrr. There was
Oh.
Gerard Depardieu in it.
that sounds weirdly intriguing.
That sounds very French.
And it sounds very French. It sounds like something that France would do. And only France.
Exclusively French.
Speaking of France, yeah, we didn't bring...
Do you have any friends?
We didn't... Well, we do have one person that's in the Francophonie, but he's currently in the Japans. So...
That's also francophone.
Wait, Japan is Francophone now?
Obviously. I mean, you can't understand them.
Oh yeah, so that obviously means they're Francophones because you can't understand Japanese.
How can you tell them apart?
I find that unacceptable. Also, he's there now, and he is francophone, so that means that Japan is now one. How many people are there in Japan? Like 120 million.
One too many.
Okay, so Japan is now 120 millionth francophone because he's
Plus one.
No, that's
He's not francophone.
it started with 199 119,999,999 Japanese people. Then he came along, and then was around 120 million. That's probably the only reason why they let them into the country, because we all know that the Japanese are incredibly xenophobic. But they were like, yeah, we need to round our numbers to exactly 120. So they were like, yeah, you can come in now. And then he came in, and then someone died, and they were like, God damn it. Why did that guy have to die? We had a perfectly round number.
And then they make a new Japanese person. Except it's getting harder and harder.
Oh my god, yes. Wait, are you implying that they're still making Japanese people? The last time I checked, they barely did that sort of thing.
They're still doing it. There's still market for that sort of thing.
I mean,
Japan prefers 2D girls.
they usually, you know, stick to watching people create the little Japanese people. There's an entire industry devoted to it.
They hire other people to create Japanese people.
Well, one funny thing, this is probably what we'll end the episode on. Just this is retarded little anecdote. I was driving around Japan on the Google.
Oh, no.
I was on Google Street Views. I was just, you know, doing what you do. You're just driving through Japan.
Yes, that's what people commonly do.
That's what people commonly do. You just drive around Japan on Google Street View. So I picked the most random ass location you can think of, right? Also now sound like that dude from.
Was it the Hoku?
Anyway, so I dropped into a random location in Japan.
Was it the Hoku?
No, I basically dropped down in front of a love hotel, and it looked and looked very silly.
Maybe Google is trying to tell you something.
Go to Japan and visit the love hotel.
Yes.
Ah.
Make Japanese people.
But I'm not Japanese. I couldn't even if I wanted to.
That doesn't mean you can't make Japanese people, Artrix.
Well, they would be Japo-Dutch. That's how it generally works. But I'll tell you this: I definitely wouldn't get anywhere close to this girl. I mean, her idea of sexy times would probably involve my ribcage and a knife, and I'm kind of attached to the contents that's inside the
Artrix, look, it goes in, it goes out. It's in, it goes out. They didn't teach her anything more.
Yeah, apparently they did a really bad job at teaching her this very fundamental thing. So
teach her what goes in and out.
She's like, oh, so I take the knife, and the teacher's like, no, not the knife. Not the knife, Yuri.
Like a normal person.
Yes. As a you take the pantsu off. Not take the knife, okay? It's just...
So the pencil.
Not the pencil. Not the pencil, goddammit.
But Artrix, that's what I said.
Yuri, let me tell this in the most basic way possible.
You're not a... I said pencil. Because I said pencil.
Pencil?
Yes.
Yes.
For penciling.
Oh, for penciling. Okay. Well, not Yuri. She thinks that pencils are ought to be used for something completely different. And then teacher's like, Yuri, it's the boy that's the boy that takes out an object to put in you, not the other way around. How hard is this to understand? And then she just stabs everyone because, I don't know.
She's like 6.
Yes. Maybe that was the problem. They just started a little bit too early. And she was just really confused. Anyway, I think that's a wrap. So So
Is it a chicken wrap?
it's a chicken wrap. It's very delicious. So thank you for watching episode 90 of Radio Rothingham, the world's least professional podcast on the entire internet. Like, subscribe.
100.
Make sure to hit that like and subscribe button to maybe give us the chance to actually get to YouTube's requirements or whatever, and we might actually make 2 cents. I don't know.
Artrix, you gotta pump and dump your viewers. That's how you make money with cryptocurrency and YouTube.
Yes. So I guess we just have to go and mine some viewers now. So if you're a viewer,
Coins.
yes, that's our new cryptocurrency. It's the viewer coin. It's made out of viewer and YouTube.
It takes a lot of electricity.
Yes, it takes a lot of energy to synergize a human being out of nothing. So yeah, do all that good shit and see you guys next time for another episode of Radio Rothingham. So cheers.
Love.
And I just have to look for the stop button. There we go. Bye.